So for whatever reason, the last video cut out the last 5 minutes of my last video that I uploaded. So you missed the context about what's in the cooling system. Here's that clip. Also, the solution comes up right after this. You're not gonna believe what it is. To give you guys as much information as possible on the system, I'm going to explain it all right now, so if you pay attention closely, maybe you guys can catch something that I'm missing. It's a Mishimoto dual pass radiator. It has the dual Mishimoto fans in them. It is getting hot, idling a little bit, but not overly. And it is getting hot at highway speeds. So if you get it hot at highway speeds and then you try and idle it, it still creeps up in the temperatures. The turbos are coolant cooled, so they come from the outlet port on the water pump here that goes to the heater core. They run through the turbos, back into the radiator, one on this side, one on that side. Our steam port from our engine goes to the top of this can. Also, our return hose from our heater core goes to the top of this can. And that feeds back into the radiator through this dash 16 line right here. This is dash 16 coming from the engine and dash 16 going to the engine. There is no thermostat in it because I couldn't fit a housing without a belt, so I had to make an offset housing. But I did put a plate in the water pump to block the back half from the front half so the water just can't recycle itself. And we did put a small half-size transmission cooler in here, so it only blocks off half the radiator, so the whole radiator does get a lot of flow through it. Our Mishimoto cap is 19 PSI. I did not pressure test the system yet. I should do that, yes. We did vacuum bleed it every time we did put coolant in it. That part didn't get on camera, but we did use that vacuum bleed kit, whether it worked good or not. We did move a temperature sensor from here to right here in the outlet. They both read around the same when you swap the sensor back and forth, so that should be okay. It is just straight water. There is no additive in it because we were dumping the coolant so much. I didn't want to put additive in it if we just had to buy it and dump it out anyways. So that is a quick rundown on the cooling system. If anybody has any suggestions, I'd love to hear them down below. Like I said, we're just chasing our tail with this one, and it's kind of eating up our time because we really need to move on to something else like Tokyo's car, and we don't need to deal with cooling issues. 6 JIC caps. Let's cap off these turbos, see if it helps. Didn't work. Test 4,047,000, more out of the hood, and then no coolant to the turbos.
So with the coolant pressure tester on it,
Holding pressure.
it's holding pressure quite well.
I'm gonna pull the shroud off right now. I'm gonna see if that's my issue.
And go for a drive with no fans.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just grab that single Mishimoto fan over there without a shroud.
No fans.
Yeah, but I don't want it to overheat at stoplights either.
Don't go far. Kyle was pumping this up earlier and he shot water out there. Oh yeah.
No fan shroud, single bigger fan just in case we have to stop and idle for a little bit. And we're gonna go see if this gets a lot cooler on the highway, if we have an airflow issue with the shroud or like shitty fans. Wish me luck. All right, in my last test, we got up to 220 degrees and we can comfortably drive on the highway. I did this. I pulled this piece out so we could get a little bit more airflow up into here because it was blocking this. And now this time I actually built this little half-size diverter plate. Throw some air up into the radiator. It kind of catches it there. I also added this little piece in the bottom of the reservoir to go back into the inlet here, and that seemed to help. But now, we're really gonna put a product to the test because I know this runs at 220. And this says it should be 17 degrees cooler Celsius, which means if we can get it to be 17 degrees Fahrenheit cooler, that'd be awesome. You're getting put to the test right now. Here goes nothing. Not quite enough radiator capacity for all of it, but that's okay. This is supposed to be for 9 to 11 liters, and I think we have like 8, so. So it creeped up to 210 on my drive, which is not 19 degrees cooler than it was. It does seem to be a little, like the dam seems to be affecting it a little bit. I can't drop the temps at idle, so my fans are obviously garbage. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna wait for the temperature to creep up and then see if I can bring it back down on the highway drive. Went from 223 to 217 at cruise. What up, boys? Look at me, DBZ. Yeah, yeah. If you ain't trained like Goku at least once in your life, what are you doing with your life, bro? Here we are, Fox Body Mustang, twin turbos, overheats. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get rid of this radiator, put a different style radiator in there, just slide it in, and a set of contour fans, see if it gets better. It's like a $1,000 try me out kind of deal. POV, you're my boobies. Make sure you're subscribed. Bringing out my true Kyle today.
Oh man.
Hi, man.
It smells like a dirt bike in here now.
It does, yeah. Smokio's here too. We ended up picking up a radiator here. This is the SVE 805. It's their kit, and then the dual Taurus fans, I believe, with the soft startup controller.
Where the hell did you get that?
Don't you be asking questions.
Colby?
Ask me how many blowjobs I did.
Well, you only get 1 a week from Gina. So
I transferred it.
Did you transfer it?
Oh, you weren't supposed to see that.
I wish your handle was bigger. Why don't you jack off
Gina
the
says
trailer
that all the time.
I don't trust that trailer hitch for jacking off of.
I wouldn't either. You can get that, Tokyo. I know you can.
Yeah, with all the
Leaning on it doesn't help.
Yeah, look how much.
I know. The first couple pumps are bad.
Where's the handle?
The first couple pumps aren't bad, and then once you realize it's not gay,
Where's the
next
handle?
couple pumps aren't bad. I used it. I used that pipe to fabricate something one day.
I hate your guts. How do you do this? Or is it literally just this?
That's it. I mean, technically you could probably stick with this in there if you wanted.
Oh yeah. Piece of your rod? Is it ready?
Oh, better?
Get in the chrome! Jason, the paint!
31 days. Man, they tick down fast, dude. I feel like it's
Did we count wrong?
I don't know. I feel like it's been 1 day, and then all of a sudden it's 31 days now. Wow, we finally got it in the air.
Insert
What are we inserting?
the editor in post-production to 12 years later.
A few inches later.
Oh,
From SpongeBob?
that's me. I'm the editor in post-production.
Shit. So it's probably not getting done?
Maybe. Or I'll just put a nice girl in a bathing suit over here or something.
What's this box? Did you get Dectals?
You're not supposed to see this box, by the way.
But you ordered a box of Dectals?
Decals, yep.
The whole box is just Dectals.
Alright, so these fans are the ones that are going to replace mine, and you can tell already that they're much, much heavier. These are brushless fans. They require a fan controller to soft start them. So let's take this setup out and just compare it.
Where'd you get the chocolate, Kyle?
Doggy dropped it. Wait, what? Modifying another radiator.
But this one's gonna work.
It's gotta work.
I'm thinking sexy thoughts. You're pretty good at hogging out holes.
Thank you. I've been doing it for years.
I think the taper of the step, it makes a nice little spot for it to sit and everything. I would just put super glue on that.
Buddy, if that weren't my stepsis, I'd bang it. I mean, super glue it? now. Maybe seal it after.
Well, if it cools not sealed, it's only going to cool more better sealed.
True.
Nice dual fans.
Dual fans, bro. Only fans. Alien Trash Kitty.
But two of them?
Two, yeah. She doesn't have two fans.
She got two sisters though. How many? No stepsis though.
No stepsisters.
Step bro.
Look at it. Look at that. It's in there. We do have to put a strip of something around the whole thing to seal it up after, because it doesn't seal very good to anything. But it's in there and it fits. We have to wire up both fans, and our top hose should still fit. It actually should fit better than last time. And then
But the bottom hoses.
the bottom hose does not fit. And I don't think our charge pipe is gonna fit either.
Because of the fans?
Yeah, I think they're sticking a bit too far now.
You dent them?
Maybe I'll dent that pipe a little bit actually.
Dented a few things in my time. Kids' foreheads from the vagine.
Building new lines. Oh jeez. I'm gonna start spinning, I think.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Easy there, Buck.
Show them what you got done, Tokyo. Show them what you got done, Tokyo.
Nothing
got
yet.
the rear end out.
It looks the same.
You almost got it the back door, bro.
So Kyle's now going to go down and under.
The crank pulley, yeah. Because it's not on the same side anymore. Man, that really hurt my thumb.
He jammed his finger in the vise.
I can see it already like blistering, like blood in it.
How did you get the more clearance you wanted?
The hammer? I mean, everything's a hammer. Which hammer did I use? I'm not going to tell you.
Also, if you guys didn't know, fittings are reusable.
Yeah.
Take them off, add a new section of line, get sendy.
I really hope Dash 16 is enough.
A little bit of hammer fit.
Yeah, a little bit of a forced application there. The radiator is a little bit thicker though, because my bung, unless I didn't weld this bung as flat as I had it last time, which that might be the case as well. Temporary wiring, okay? Just to see if it works.
A yeller crimp down there.
Crimp another eyelet here. Put an eyelet on this one, and then join those all together
With a bolt.
with a bolt.
And then what do we got to do? Just ground?
Then just ground the other ones, yeah.
So the plan is to let the car warm up to 200 or 210 and then ground the fans and see if it drops temp. Kyle just took the car to the end of the street just to get some temperature into it. So the plan is to get the car up to 200-ish and then ground the fans and see if it drops temp. Well, I'm dirty. I was under this friggin' thing. So yeah, just temporary wired up. The plan is to see if it drops temp once it gets hot. I can hear him coming back, so fingers crossed, because I want this thing to be the kitty's titties. Alien Trash Kitty's titties. AlienTrashKitty.com.
Creeping up pretty quick though.
Still only 180 though. charge pipe or anything, so I can't really put too much load on it. But for a test,
I'm gonna have to redo the wiring and the charge piping, but that's, honestly, I'll take it.
So last time the hill temperature was 211.
211, and we're
168 this time.
168, 169. Now let's see if we drop it back. Does it drop?
Down to 167.
167, we're just putting along. Now we stop. This is stop and go traffic. I'll leave it in gear just to simulate. Now normally it would start creeping up. 168, 169, 170. Maybe I can put my big transpooler back in. I'm really curious to see if this plate is in here now from how much success we had with that. I know the fans did a lot with that, but even at cruise, like, we weren't dropping any temps, so. I need something to open that up with.
Just use your skill, it opens her up.
Wait, what?
Use my tongue? What are the chances that plate is either A, not complete, or B, not complete?
Is that what you think it is?
Maybe. I don't know, the plate is all there. It's a full plate. So in order to make this a dual pass radiator, you have to put this plate to block here and here. So I wonder if this radiator would have worked with those fans or not.
What?
It's not hard. That's why I said just cut the end. He can weld that back together. It's not hard to tell, because now all we need to do is wait till it gets hot, unhook the fans,
I guess,
and let the car run. Well, no, let it run and see where it goes.
With that?
And
I
then
can
go
re-weld
for
that up.
no, with the one that's in it. Just don't have fans on it, and then go for a drive. Let it get hot, and then take it for a drive and see if it cools with air coming through it. Crazy.
But dude, I'm stoked. Are you stoked?
I'm so happy.
That is like a lot of relief, because I spent the last 3 days trying to do everything in the book to get that setup to work. And all it took was a better setup.
You can also buy a copy of the book, alientrashkitty.com.
So now we have to wire in the, I'm not going to do it right now, but it does come with a controller.
A thermostatic controller?
Well, it's like a
dialy touchy knob?
no, it's actually a Dakota Digital box fan controller. And I don't know if these are in or outs.
How are you gonna get the air filter?
Fan high,
on the
fan
turbo?
low.
Later. Maybe a turbo guard.
Yeah, it might have to be a turbo guard, or I might have to adjust this fitting somehow. But that's not the biggest thing. The biggest thing is it works again. And I wonder if I should,
Like borderline too good.
I wonder if I should cool the turbos again too.
Yes, 100%.
Should I return those turbos into here? Instead of back into the radiator, I'll just make them run into that thing. Not boiling over. The radiator.
The only thing is now this big dumb line drips on the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know, for whatever reason our fitting here is dripping a little bit. So what I may do is pull everything back out, put our big transmission cooler back in.
Put a 7.5-inch Chev rear end in it, because that thing's deadly. She doesn't even spin posy.
I definitely have a day's worth of work. Wiring it, I gotta rebuild the charge pipe because the charge pipe doesn't fit with this piece anymore. Our air filters don't quite fit anymore. So we may have to just use turbo guards now. And,
But it stayed cool. Like submarine cool.
That was the biggest thing.
Like you got pudding instead of vegetables from your mom for lunch at school, cool.
Dunkaroos.
Like snack pack, cool.
Dunkaroos. We don't get Dunkaroos anymore, I don't think.
I just saw a post from Sobeys and Thickwood. Dunkaroos. Time Sobeys and Thickwood close.
I appreciate you guys watching the video. For some reason, the last video, when it rendered, it went like to 23 minutes instead of the 29 minutes it was. So you lost all the explanation of me telling you what the the radiator setup was. I am not running a thermostat, but in the water pump, I do have a plate welded in the water pump to separate the inlet and the outlets, which is what the thermostat does. And then we have 2 pressure caps now, but this one's, we're not using that one. It's just kind of there. And we're using this one instead. So that's our new setup. This is from SVE. That's contour fans. Just got to hook up the controller.
And now we need another set of fans for your car. These ones.
Set of only fans? Yeah, I do need a set of these fans. So make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, peace easy, get that V.
The juicy.